hours. And they, of course, are trying to demand a vote on gun control. Virginia Democrat Senator Tim Kaine attended the sit-in in a show of solidarity with his House colleagues. He joins us now. Good morning, Senator.
Hey, Allison. Good to talk.
There are some scenes there that look pretty raucous from last night. What was the scene when you went over there?
It was pretty amazing. You know, they had shut the cameras off. They had shut the microphones off. And we were I was sitting on the floor with a beautiful view of Congressman John Lewis sitting right there on the center of the floor, kind of in a Zen-like place, and it was amazing. It was a real team-building exercise. We felt the same way when we did the filibuster in the Senate last week. We went on the floor to say it's time for reform because we cared about the issue, but what we found is being on the floor together made us feel stronger, made us feel like we were doing what our constituents want us to do, and made us feel like we were inching closer to the day when we break the grip of gun manufacturers on Congress and actually embrace reasonable safety reforms.
Well, beyond this team-building exercise over in the House, what will this accomplish there?
Well, let me tell you, on the Senate side, here's what's happened. After the filibuster last week, we had votes Monday night. Democratic proposals and Republican proposals neither passed, but within 12 hours after the vote, I was part of a group of 10, 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, putting a meaningful bipartisan bill out that basically says terrorists shouldn't be able to buy guns. We should add a new federally prohibited class of individuals and block them from weapons purchases. And this is something the American people overwhelmingly support. And it's important, Allison, that this bill, Susan Collins, Heidi Heitkamp, Martin Heinrich, a number of us worked on, it's important that it's bipartisan.
It is important.
We will not make reforms. We will not make reforms without it being bipartisan.
Indeed. And so is that bill going to pass?
Well, we're going to see. We could have a vote today, or it could slip into next week. We think we're going to be close. It again is something that overwhelmingly the American public supports. If you are on a no-fly list, you're too dangerous to fly in an airplane, then you should be prohibited from buying a weapon. If you're on the special selectee list where our intelligence agencies have selected you out as potentially dangerous because of your ties to terrorism, you should be blocked from buying weapons. We prohibit felons. We prohibit those under domestic violence protective orders. We should prohibit terrorists.
And Senator, just to prove your point, we do have a new CNN ORC poll out this week. I just want to put it up to reinforce what you're saying. When you even ask Republicans, do you favor preventing people on terror watch lists or the no-fly list from guns, 90% of the American Republican public say yes, they would favor that. 85% of Democrats. I mean, counterintuitive that the numbers for Republicans are higher, and yet it just seems so hard to get traction on Capitol Hill.
Well, Allison, you will see that poll number. You've looked at a lot of polls. We couldn't get that kind of a number for supporting Mother's Day. This is something that the American public deeply believes in, and that is why we think when it's actually up on the floor, and people just have to vote yes or no, the time for skirmishing is over, we think we've got a chance of getting it over the goal line.